looking at the song Punahele, one of the really classic slack key tunes, one of my favorite things to play. So I showed at the earlier lesson, I showed a very, very simplified way to play that didn't use all the slurs and the hammer-ons and the pull-offs. So I'm going to trust that you got that under your fingers by now. Or you just want to go ahead and look at some ways to make the tune your own. In the simplified version that I've got up on the website, basically there's 3 different sections of the tune, and the first section that I've got that I've tabbed out is, it's the basic low part. That's not so basic. That's pretty tricky. So some of the things you can do to make that more interesting have to do with the stuff that happens around the D lick, the second half of the first part, if you will, where you're going. So one of the things that is typical is you would add. So what am I doing? I'm doing a very rapid hammer-on to the 2nd fret of the 1st string and pull off. Okay? So here's how that would sound. Now you could add, you could make it more complex by adding a second hammer-on and pull-off combination like this. What did I do? Instead of going, I added another one back on the 1st string 2nd fret. And then I added one up here from the 4th fret of the 1st string to the 2nd. So you get this whole, so now that whole second half sounds like this. That's a lot. Here's a couple different ways of playing that first part. Okay, stay tuned, I'll show you some more. Once you got that going, you probably guess that you can add those same kinds of ideas to each of the other parts. For instance, the part that uses the chimes, that's what's on the easy part. You could add that same little filigree there, furniture I like to call it, right at the end. Okay, that makes it more interesting. Or you could add chimes and a little bit of a hammer-on pull-off thing, like this. Okay, so what did I do? I did a chime, and then I came back down here again, and this is still on the G lick. So hammer-on, pull-off, fast one on the second fret of the first string. And then the note on the second fret, that great Hawaiian blues note. Or you could make it more complicated by going and adding another one. And then for the D lick, so that's pretty straight ahead. You could also reverse the two bits in the chime section. You can do the little fiddly stuff first, you know. And if you really want to be cool, you do your chimes this way. Yeah, it's fun. Okay? So mess around with that and you see just adding just tiny little bits of different things each time make it more interesting. Okay? So practice that for a while. Well, you probably guessed by now that for the third section in the easy tab, and so on, you do the same thing. You add more hammer-ons and pull-offs. So for the G lick, from the second fret of the first string to the second fret of the second string, or you can put two of them, and you do a hammer-on pull-off on the 5th fret. And then back to the D. And you can make them more complicated, of course. Let me show you a couple other little variations you can do. Most of these would be for when you're playing out of D. So you can do that, you know. But this, to the 2nd fret, you can also play that down to the 5th fret of the B string, which lets you get another little thing there. You can also add some double stops on the D. So I'm doing a double stop here on the 2nd string 3rd fret and the 1st string 4th fret. Then moving down a whole step. Okay, well, I think that's a whole lot of stuff that you can add to this very, very basic arrangement of Punahele that I have up on my website for you to look at. So have fun with it, and I'll just leave you with a couple of different ideas.